Hey everybody, and welcome to another flip through. Now, this is a flip through of Wargames Illustrated. This is issue 446, February 2025. They are theming this issue 12 varied wargaming articles plus reviews and previews inside. Not really a theme if you ask me, but I guess you gotta put something here to fill up the spot. So, the cover is actually Giovanni del Bandonere, which basically means Giovanni the Black Band. And you can actually get the figure from the Giants in miniature range from Wargames Illustrated. Also, if you're subscribing, you get this full piece of art, which I think is a good idea actually to have like nice uninterrupted art pieces in the front of your magazine. Now we start off with the table of contents, and then we move right into the subscriptions again. If you haven't, you can actually subscribe to Wargames Illustrated Prime, or get the physical magazines on subscription as well. Now we start off with the observation post, and this is basically Wargames Illustrated or Bold Action Armies of Germany. This one is quite anticipated here in the shop. Um, why? Is because this is a look at the German army post third edition, and all the different changes that are made, and what's new for the army. I think the new third edition is actually really, really good. It's actually quite exciting. And this is basically a review done by Dom Sor for Wargames for Warlord Games. Next up, we've got Victrix, and Victrix just released the medieval Islamic cavalry. Very nice looking figures. Um, we brought in a few of these, and those move quite well. I quite like Victrix in terms of figures. There's some of their range which is a hit, and some which are miss. The medieval Islamic cavalry looked like it could be a hit. Moving along, we got Armies of the United States, and this is the next book from the Warlord Games as a board action game, and this is basically the for it's the army list as expansion for the U.S. armies. Of course, there's a talk of the Pike and Short War of the Samurai, which is actually got some buzz in the shop as well. Moving along, we got Release Radar, and in Release Radar, we've got what's really new and out there, and this includes Steel Fist miniatures, and Claymore castings, and Dark Sword miniatures, and some miniatures for Burrows and Badges, which is quite cool. Hobby Essentials from Wargames Atlantic. They never seem to fail to like have something in the Wargames Illustrated for you to for you to like enjoy or get. But this is the interesting bit, which I thought was, I don't know whether it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to be a game changer, but it definitely will help. These are the marker pens from Deep Cut Studios. They're calling them speed paint markers. So I might just give them a try and see what they're like. Next up, we've got Crusader miniatures, and then now let me see if I can pronounce this properly. Des Tranchées aux Barricades, I guess. And this is the Russo-Japanese War. A theater I'm not very well versed with, but you got figures for that as well. And then you got Scotia Grendel miniatures as well. Moving along, we got an ad for Silver Bayonet. Now, this one, I don't know if you're interested in Silver Bayonet anyway, but I like how they're releasing this. So what they do is they release blister packs with or boxes with a range of figures, right? And what they've done is they've actually broken them down to different release or different units. Like for example, this is the third British unit, and this is for Egypt. They got the second British unit and the first British unit, so you can actually collect them separately. They are mostly one-piece sculpts. And the sculpts are really nice. They're very flavorfully sculpted and very characterful as well. And here it is, the speed paint markers. Yeah, very curious. I'm very curious about these markers and see how they'll fit into the my gaming and painting. Next up is quickfire, and these are basically submissions from gamers, just like you and me, which includes the Saga Grand Melee. I think is fantastic. Now moving along, painting the battles of the five armies. And now this one, if you if you got the last issue, and that's basically issue 445, you would have seen this army on display. And what basically this is, the person who brought the army to the table, showing you how he got the army to the table, tips and stuff like that. Using green stuff, just basically hobbying and stuff like that. We also get a slight insight to the um the gamer, because you got to see his little sketches. He's quite an artistic guy. So yeah, so all of this sort of makes sense if you think about it. Moving along, there's ads for Salute 52. Now, at the time of this video, Salute would have just finished, and I'm looking forward to actually reviewing Salute from my sofa, far away from where it's being held. Anyways, moving along, we got First Call, and they're releasing the 28 millimeter American Civil War and Mexican American War new releases. Basically, horse teams and stuff like that. Next up, and now these are scenarios for Ruckus, and this is basically he's looking at the peasants. The parents are revolting, and how to bring peasants into your game. I also always think it's kind of nice to play non-combative miniatures doing combat. It's actually quite cool, and they give you a scenario for you to choose from, and you've got stats for the different characters as well. Moving along, including like the cattle and dogs and stuff like that. I just think it's kind of cool. Next up, this is the new release from Team Yankee, and then we got a century spanning build. Now this one is basically this is from Sarissa actually, and what's done here is he's actually built it up. Now the hobby of building terrain is not so popular as the hobby of painting terrain, and I'm really glad that someone puts a lot of effort into one piece of terrain, even though it's just a non-combative centerpiece. But the better your centerpiece is, the better your games. I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think. Next up, cultural experience, and this time they are focusing on Operation Marita, which is kind of cool. This one's in May, 12th to 19th May. Moving along, boys, the bullets are coming in like hail. And this is basically Chris Swan, and this is it's a Wild West game, which is it's been covered here. I think it's quite cool. Now there's a lot of play for Wild West games at the moment, and I'm glad that magazines like this are offering support as well to make get more variety for your games. He says, yeah, for more variety, giving you ideas on how to run games and stuff, which I think is really quite cool. Moving along, we got Heinz figures. I should really take a look at Heinz actually at some point. And then we got Victrix. Victrix has been on the up at the moment, and apart from all the new news that's been coming out in terms of releases, they have the Greeks and Persians in this one, and they don't look very very bad. They look really really good. Victrix are really nice looking figures. Moving on, we got The Road Goes Ever On. This is building Middle Earth. This is one of the articles that will excite folks who are not historical gamers, to magazines like a magazine like this, because it's some of the newer gamers, history isn't basically their big thing, but fantasy is, and doing an article on actually building Middle Earth is one of those articles that really pulls you in. I mean, look at this, Boomer kills, you know, and stuff like that. It it shows the new player the potential of miniature gaming, right? And the terrain is really, really nice, really, really good looking, and it helps as well that you've got pictures of the battle, and the potential of games that you can actually have. As you build Middle Earth around you. Moving along, Tombstone. Now this is one of my favorite cowboy shows or western shows. I've got like 5 or 6 which are really quite top, and Tombstone actually is up there. And it's also kind of nice that yeah, I'm doing it now because Val Kilmer recently passed away, so rest in peace, Val. He plays Doc Holliday, so if you wanna actually paint him. You can actually paint him, and this is from uh the OK Corral setup. It's basically painting tips on how to get it done and how to complete it. Very very nice. Next up, English Civil War in Valor and Fortitude, and these is basically fan made army sheets, which is kind of great because that shows that the game is where it's at right now when you have fans actually releasing army sheets and wanting to take the rule set a little bit further. Now, if you haven't tried out Valor and Fortitude, they actually gave away the free rule set in the last few magazines. So look through the bargain bin or look through some of these bookstores actually have old magazines on for sale, and you can find that, get it, because one of the ways to get this magazine and a rule set and begin playing, just really cool. And as you can see, it's actually quite extensive, royalist lists and parliamentarian lists and stuff like that. Okay, so as with the theme of the magazine, which is basically the cover, here's an article on collecting the black bands of Giovanni the Great Devil. Um, it's one of those articles where it helps you get into the period if you intend to collect it or to know what on earth is going on, because a character like this may not be very familiar to a lot of new historical wargamers, or even for guys who just casually flipping through. And articles like this help because it gives a little bit of context to the cover, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And again, there's a look at the Giants in miniature range from Wargames Illustrated. Moving along, we got the big battle mat throwdown. Uh, and this is it's basically I think it's comparing different gaming mats. Yes, it's the kind of thing. It's the kind of thing you want to talk about, guys. You're gonna spend money on a gaming mat. You want to see the quality and stuff like that. So yeah, some tips as well. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's part of the hobby as well these days. Gaming mats, and it's nice that because some people talk about it. It's very very cool. Matchlocks 1672, and this is the French versus Dutch game using Nevermind the Matchlocks. Very nice table if you have a look. See, very nice looking table. What's this? 8 by 4. Not so sure, but it's a nice big looking table. And of course, some nice pictures to accompany the article as well. This thing is really cool. Articles like this really are really really nice because not only do you enjoy the battle report, but there's also pictures showing what was going on and lots of nice miniatures to ogle at and admire. Moving along, we got epic alterations, and this is basically epic Napoleonic battles, and but it's not. It's the I think it's kind of cool that finally we've got this fully painted games, out on display. And this was done at Warlock Games' open day. I think it's kind of cool, and it's tips on how to do, painting the epic miniatures. Epic has really like carved its niche in the historical scene at the moment, and this is actually helping you paint, step by step, and the results are quite good. The thing about painting epic, by my experience, I painted quite a bit. Is just be a bit patient. It's smaller strokes, a bit more patient, lesser blending, more block out painting, but the results is really good. And of course, you want it to look great from a distance. So look at that. I mean, these look great. I mean, look at these, especially just very quickly. Yeah, they look really really good, and especially on Mars, always they always look great on Mars. Okay, um, this is a 3D print, and Mac Parks shows you how to get it get it completed. It's all these different like tips and stuff like that to do. I think it's a very short article, but you know, it's a article talking about how to do work on your printed pieces, which is like I said, it's a new part of the hobby now. 3D printing. It's nice that I got articles covering it. Moving along. I mean, Germany is out. It's by the time this video comes out, it's already in the hands and being destroyed rule by rule by gaming tables across the country and the world. Next up is Art Master Studio. All these folks are actually helping to pay the rent at Wargames Illustrated House or WI Tower as they call it. So we can have magazines like this coming every month. Cold Wars 2025. I don't know what this is, but I gotta check that out at some point. North Star military figures, Skytrack miniatures, and so forth. Just giving a shout out to all of these guys. Mardev, Knuckle Duster, Dixon, Athena. All of these guys again help pay the bills. Splendid scenery, uh, painting den miniature painting service. Yeah, this is the community right here. And then we got free with the next Wargames Illustrated. We got Hail Caesar frame. I'm looking forward to receive this so I can like paint this and like feature this as well. And then Wargames Atlantic, who's chugging along. More releases from their Death Fields, their Classic Fantasy, their World Ablaze, and the Napoleonic Wars. And then finally, as always, at the back of the page, Saga, Age of Chivalry is basically Gripping Beast. Gripping Beast has a monopoly on the back pages, which is very, very cool. You know exactly where to find them. So yeah, that is basically Wargames Illustrated 446. If you haven't already, go and get it and have a look see. Or if you're watching this in the future, at least when you're browsing the bargain bins or you see this on cheap online, you know what's inside for you to get it. So that's pretty much it. Hope you liked the video. And a few more flip throughs will happen over the next couple of months as I get the Wargames Illustrated, so you can actually see what's inside. One of those magazines which I feel is worth the pages it's printed on. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to enjoy painting these figures.